Hello, this is Silvana Candela, licensed acupuncturist, author, and publisher. And my message for all of you is heal yourself to heal the world. And today, our topic is Awaken the Healer Within. What I'm saying to you is that if you are called to be a healer, you already are. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of what that's like and how you can discover that within yourself if that is your calling and what it means to be a healer. It means different things to different people. And we're going to look at that today for a little bit. The first thing you need to realize is that being a healer is something that's within you, that there's like a voice inside of you that tells you this is who and what you are. Nobody on this earth can give you that except that voice inside of you. And what you believe that voice to be is also what we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Okay, so what is the essence of a healer? It's not a degree. I'll tell you what it's not first. It's not the tools of healing arts. Because healing arts, or the healing arts, or a healing art, uh, those are things that you learn. And yes, you can be taught those by other people who do those things. As an acupuncturist, I learned the art of traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbs, qigong, tai chi, and all the other qi things, the qi-related stuff that goes along with traditional Chinese medicine and putting needles in people. There are many different things that are considered part of the healing arts, and they are not really about being a healer. The same thing with Western medicine. You can be a doctor and you can also be a healer, but the two are not necessarily the same. The two don't necessarily go together. And I'd like to tell you a wonderful story here, actually, that Dr. Larry Dossey wrote. And this is in my book. Also, I quote him in Gently Heal Thyself in my book. His book is called Healing Hands, I think, or Healing Words, one of those two. I think he wrote more than one. So anyway, in the book, and I read this a long time ago, so I'm not going to get it exact, but he was talking about how a group of nurses in a hospital where he was working were practicing and learning what was referred to, what they referred to as hands-on healing or laying on of hands. That can also mean different things to different people, depending on who you ask, you know what that is. And they were getting some wonderful results. And as I understand that, as a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine, they were putting their hands on people and transferring their positive energy or positive qi to that person. And that is one thing, one way of working, with healing energy. And word got around the administration in the hospital that these nurses were doing healings, and that didn't really sit well with the admin. So one day the nurses came in and there was in their nurses station, there was a sign up on the wall posted by the administrator saying, "There will be no healing in this hospital." So they didn't like that. That was like a little too woo to them, I guess. But anyway, good story. So you can, regardless of whether or not you go for a professional license, whether or not you have one, you can either be a healer or not be a healer. And my point being, the professional license does not necessarily mean that you are one. You can be a practitioner, which is different, of whatever your craft is, medicine. You're a practitioner of your medical profession. Um, but you can also be a healer without having any kind of degree, license, or anything. In what sense? Okay, well, let's start with where it comes from. From that voice in your head, it is in your heart. And from your heart, you extend that healing energy to others. It might be in a gesture, it might be in your words, it might be in a soothing comfort that you give a person in need. And that's all about being a healer, too. In fact, that is being a healer is the essence of it, the basic essence of healing is how you extend your chi, your vital force, your energy to another person, to another human, to an animal, to whoever or whatever, And that comes from that voice within, where you're actually being a vessel for that being, that voice, that whatever you want to call it, your creator, the universe, universal chi, God, you call that what you relate to. Okay. And that is where your power and your energy and your source and your healing comes from that. There are those who will tell you, rightfully or wrongfully so, that they can teach you for so much money and such a retreat or whatever, how to be a healer. No, they can teach you their healing arts, but only that higher power within your understanding of your creator can give that to you, can do that for you, and works through you as you give of yourself, give your loving energy, your loving chi to another. Um, what I always do when I start working with somebody, and that, by the way, that includes putting out to the public, whether it's on a video or in person, if you're standing on a podium, in front of a podium, in front of an audience, and you're also doing that, you're giving out healing energy. When I'm doing it one-on-one with somebody, though, and if that person is, let's say, not present, maybe some relatives or friends have asked me to pray for that person, which is another form of healing. The thing that I always do first, especially if that person is not there, is to ask their permission. I go within and in my mind's eye, I connect with that person and I ask if they want to be healed. And this actually goes back to Hippocrates' time. They also mentioned that, and many cultures do. There are other cultures and indigenous peoples who do the same thing, who believe that your path is sacred and in your healing is sacred. And whether or not you take somebody's pain away and suffering, help them to, that is, the creator working through you, taking the pain and suffering away. That's really up to them. It's between them and their creator. So you want to ask their permission. And if you feel it comes back, yes, then go ahead. If you don't feel that, then you don't. Or you can ask, well, what is it okay for me to do? And I do that with muscle testing, by the way, like this. Fingers this way, hold them up here, and I will say, so-and-so has given me permission to help and or heal them. And if the answer is yes, and it's true, then these, if I try and pull them apart, will not pull apart. If the answer is no, leave me alone, then it goes and it won't hold. The fingers like this and this way. Don't curl them, because if you curl them tight, they're going to lock in, and no matter what, you'll get a false positive. But to do it like this, so they can slide out this way if it's no, and if it's a yes, it'll still stay locked in. That's muscle testing. applied kinesiology. We should do that sometime on a video. It's a really good thing to know. And it's easier actually to show it, to do it, than it is to write about it, which I've also done in my book. But okay. Um, Hippocrates also said that the first rule of any kind of healing or whatever you're going to, do for somebody is to do no harm. And that is where the modern day Hippocratic Oath is, that's the direction it's geared in. There are other things in the Hippocratic Oath, but that's one that always sticks out for me is do no harm. So what you're going to do in your prayer and meditation and your thinking and your projecting, and after you've asked the person, whether or not it's okay, and you've decided which, a particular method you're going to work with, whether it's just your energy or prayer, or whether it's specific, like if you're a practitioner and you're going to be administering something, that's, then you're ready. But what you're going to do first, what I suggest you do first is, okay, instead of thinking about what you're going to do and what this person needs, again, go in here and feel it. Don't use this when you're healing. Use this. And that's because that's where the source resides. There's all kind of other crazy stuff going on up here. Get past it. Go to the good stuff, which is here. And that's where you're going to feel what's right for this person. Also, to be very effective in helping somebody, don't talk so much as listen. Very often, and this is obviously when the person's in front of you, when somebody wants to be helped, they need to be heard, whatever it is. And in psychology, of course, we all know it's called catharsis, but it's more than that. If you really are a good listener, then you're giving more than just your ear to somebody. You're not, it's like I'm thinking of a few scenes in movies where, they've got the proverbial psychologist or psychiatrist sitting there with somebody lying down in the air, writing stuff down. No. Yeah, they're listening and they're writing, but they're not engaged. So you're listening and you're being engaged in what the person is saying. And your whole being, you're really tuned in to the person, to the other person. And that should be about 95% or so of what you're giving in that sense. The other 5% is what you're saying or doing. And when you're listening, remember not to have any judgment. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, for sure. I know that. Um, Nobody is. So when somebody comes to you, it's almost like a confession. You just don't want to judge them. Just be with them and hear them, and try and leave judgment to our Creator, and not with, because I'm not him, or her, or whatever you call them. So I try not to go there, not if I'm going to really help somebody anyway. Um, so you're going to offer this either as a prayer or a prayer treatment or a treatment of yourself and your presence, your listening, or the physical, whether it's whatever I'll say your medicine, whatever that is that you're going to give. And then I want you to see this again in your heart as it being already done. And you can say to yourself or to the person listening that you are well, you are healed, you are whatever it is that they're wanting that's hurting them, or, the situation bothering them, whatever. Your pain is gone. You are already healed. It is done. It is done. It is done. And you just give that sense of it is done to the universe, to that person. You put that energy out there. It's already done. It's already done. And that you can do for somebody who's not present. And it works because we are all connected. We're all connected through the universal. And remember that you are who you are. And if you've listened to this and if this feels right to you, then you already are a healer. And I welcome you to that road. It's a beautiful road. And remember to heal thyself, to heal others. That's the best way. That's the best medicine you can give anyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you and bless you.